These are very unusual times, and I'm going to read a statement as the President would like to communicate with the country, the presumptive President. President Nelson Chamisa is shocked, saddened by the events in the capital today. This country, Zimbabwe, is for all who live in it. The rights and freedoms of our citizens, as enshrined under our Constitution, are the fundamental basis upon which the relationships between the people and the state are based. The deployment of soldiers and the regrettable loss of life by unarmed citizens and civilians today is reminiscent with and reminds us of the dark days of the cruel killing of thousands of innocent civilians in Matabeleland in the 1980s and the brutal murder of hundreds of MDC supporters in 2008 following the electoral theft. Today we saw the deployment of military tanks and firing of live ammunition on civilians for no apparent reason. Civilians are allowed to demand the respect of their rights in a lawful manner. Any disorder may be dealt with by the police, who are best trained for public order. Soldiers are trained to kill during war. We are seriously made to wonder what this means. Are we in war? Are civilians the enemy of the state? The loss of lives is the most painful experience we ever get subjected to. We are deeply hurt and feel vulnerable in our own country. The manner in which ZEC has conducted itself over the past few months and the announcing of the election results is irrational, inflammatory, and frankly dangerous. These young people have borne the brunt of poverty and bad governance for a long time and decades, and they rightly yearn for change. We condemn, in the strongest sense, the action that was taken today. There is no justification whatsoever for the brutality we experience today. Let us all maintain peace in the country whilst respecting the rights of citizens. The idea that protesters are violent is a false narrative that cannot be justified. We urge Zimbabweans and supporters to exercise their rights with due regard to the law and the rights of other citizens. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission has a responsibility to handle elections in a manner that is fair and does not unnecessarily prejudice the peace and security of our country. We call upon the four lawful law enforcement authorities to be human and exercise restraint accordingly. The force used today was clearly disproportionate and unjustifiable. The brutal murder of citizens is not the way to address the concerns they are raising. We are all Zimbabweans. That's a nice question. It really doesn't matter who started it. Okay, I'm done.
Mr. Sibanda, may I please...
Can I just answer the gentleman first?
Yes, sir.
If you understand the objective of the social contract that allows people to be governed, can I just finish, please?
Please don't interrupt.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Why was the MDC banning all these people's things in town? Yeah? What was that?
Are you done?
I'm not. Why is it that they ban all the issues, the things in the town? Don't try to correct yourself when you are wrong.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can I answer somebody else? Clearly, you don't want an answer.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the question.
Sir, may I please
This
ask,
is not
if I may ask,
sense,
please.
Okay.
Your opposition supporters, chanting Chamisa, have been on the streets protesting their rights, and I'm sorry for the loss of life.
Thank you.
However, we have seen that some of the protesters were throwing stones at riot police and at ZANU-PF headquarters. We've also seen that Chamisa supporters have been setting roadblocks, burning tires and other things, burning Is this something you are prepared to condone, or is this part of their democratic right?
If you listen to my statement, to the statement I've just delivered, I've called upon anybody, any citizen, whether they support us or support anybody, to exercise their rights, not just in respect of their own rights, but with the dual responsibility to respect the rights of the others.
But throwing stones, do you condemn that? Burning roadblocks and barricades, do you accept that as part of, or is it, do you condemn it?
On behalf of the President, his message can't be clearer. We condemn violence in all its forms.
Are you telling your
no matter
not to burn barricades?
We're telling everybody, that violence is not in our DNA. And then let me be brutally honest with you. Let me be brutally honest with you. My experience in this country and many other dictatorships is that when you have peaceful demonstrations and the state wants to repress those demonstrations, they will send people who will pretend to be your supporters, and they will start up the violence and give them an excuse to react offhandedly. And I think that this may be one of those things that we're experiencing and happens in most dictatorships. When I was a student, and I know that for a fact. Okay?
There's a question.
You know how many people have died? You know how the security forces here typically behave. So how much responsibility are you then prepared to take for stirring it all up?
What do you mean stirring it all up?
With the comments that were made, especially yesterday, by both Tendai Biti, but also by the tweet that the Nelson Chamisa sent out this morning.
What tweet is it? What tweet is it?
It's a tweet where he wasn't accepting. He wasn't accepting he was saying like that the MDC has won, and that's just a fact.
Why is that wrong, sir?
But the ZEC has not announced.
Of course, why haven't they announced? That's the question. In 2013, by this time, we'd had the results.
No.
Yeah. In 2013.
I think the law.
What is the question?
His question is, why do you incite people to rebel when results are not announced? You are blaming ZEC. It's not right. Answer the question. The results are not yet out. Why do you declare yourself
Listen, sir. You don't have to like my answer. But the clear answer is this. The clear answer is this, if you want me to repeat. It is every citizen's right to demand that the results are produced in reasonable time. Okay? The fact that the results for Harare Central, that is just next door to ZEC, had not been released by midday today is inappropriate and suggests that something wrong is happening. We've been here before.
Is that reason enough to declare yourself a winner?
Do you have casualty numbers?
That's not reason enough to declare.
We have not verified because we can't go throughout the city, but there are suggestions that there are casualties of up to 3.
Responsibility for the loss of life because politicians yesterday called on ordinary innocent people to take to the streets, and they were not there to give direction when people took to the streets.
I do not know which politicians you're referring to.
Tendai Biti, we've got video circulating. Tendai Biti saying we are not going to accept anything but a Chamisa win.
That is not calling people to the streets, is it?
It is.
Okay, that's what
it is.
Claiming that you're going to respond to the situation or to the results in a jihad manner. And he was riled up and saying a whole lot of things right after the press.
I don't speak for Mr. Japajapa, no.
But he was speaking as a member of the alliance.
And I was,
Do you know who called in the army?
we have seen a statement to the effect that the police have called in the army, and we do not see the need for that, for them to call in the army.
Mr. Sibanda, why have you insisted throughout to always declare Chamisa a president? You declared him a president before the actual voting, during the voting, and now, even before the tally is complete. Why can't you wait for the Electoral Commission to make their pronouncement? And isn't this in itself part of the problem, part of what's causing this provocations and incitements? Can't you bear part of that responsibility?
So are you trying to suggest that a person has to be killed because somebody has declared a result or has said that they're going to win? Are you justifying murder? Is that statement justifying murder?
Why are you inciting people to go to the streets?
By
declaring the results that have not been announced. Why are you inciting them?
He's not president until the Electoral Commission declares him president. Why have you chosen that tactic?
Are you finished?
Responsibility for lives being lost.
Sorry, can we ask another question?
Thank you, please. Yeah, thank you. We have the same people asking the same question. Please go ahead.
Please, if the result, are you going to give your own result? If you're not happy with the result, can we have your own result first? And then if people are saying that they're stealing the election, are you going to ask your people to withhold to go to the street to make sure that the results are respected, your results are respected? We want to know what you're going to do. Nelson Chamisa is not here. What does he have in mind?
At the appropriate time, the president is going to say what he has in mind. The mandate I have today is to talk about the violence. Thank you.
The president is the leader.